Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to go over my new updated dual blade set that I'm using since the title update 1. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm not claiming this to be the absolute best set in the game for dual blades. There are some things you can kind of tweak around depending upon if you're speed running or if you like to play a very specific way, and you can't ignore the elephant in the room that is the current best dual blades combo being non-stamina based, so max might sets are also valid. However, what I have found is that when I used those sets, the Fulgur Anjanath setup with max might, I just started not liking it. Like I really did not enjoy it. So I went back to one of my previous setups that I used, and this is updating that setup. So if you watch my original video of my original dual blade sets, that's what this is going to be. I may go into a max might set as well, but just know that you don't need to have a max might set to take advantage of playing that playstyle. It is still the best combo to use when the target is downed, but playing standard dual blades actually is a little bit more comfortable, and you can kind of mix and match around and kind of flow back and forth either way. I've yapped on long enough. Let's go ahead and go over the set itself. So as far as the set goes, what we're utilizing this time around is some of the new Zoshia armor. Now, in case you don't want to be spoiled, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now what pieces you're going to want to get and how you're going to piece the set together. I'm going to show you it, of course, afterwards, but this is for people who are like trying to find out but don't really want to be spoiled on the new armor and stuff like that. So I don't know why you look at a video like this. If you don't want to be spoiled on it, just go fight it first, but teach is their own. I want to make sure we have an avenue for any type of person that's looking at this video. So as far as the pieces that you are concerned with, you're going to want the Zoshia Beta chest and the Beta Tacet. With that, you're going to mix in the Gore Beta helmet, the Gore Beta legs, and the Arc Veiled Beta gloves. The ones that have, like, you know, the 2 weakness exploit and 3 level 1 slots. Yeah, those ones. With that, you'll deco in the rest and you'll slap on a charm that gives you weakness exploit, and you will be in a very, very comfortable place. Now, what does that all look like? That's what we're going to show you. So if you didn't want to be spoiled on, you know, the individual armor and all that good stuff, this is where you tune out now. Much like it, if you just, you know, toss a like on the video, sub, maybe throw in a comment, helps out a ton. Either way, we're starting now. You've been warned. So here's our set. You want to see what we've got as far as skills. We end up with Wex 5, Agitator 5, Marathon Runner 3, Coalescence 3, Antivirus 3, Constitution, and Burst Level 1, Evade Window, Flinch Free, 2-piece Gore, 2-piece Zoshia, and 3-piece Guardian's Protection. Now, the 3-piece Guardian's Protection, really good for fighting Zoshia because of all the crystals that are all around. Super, super helpful. 2-piece Gore, you guys know what it is. It's, you know, the frenzy stuff, super nice. And then the 2-piece Zoshia set giving you super recovery is kind of crazy, especially if you have someone that likes to pop a bunch of buffs at the start of quests. Give you the immunizer buff, you're going to heal like absolutely wild. So it's really nice to have. Either way, it's nice for chip damage regardless of what you're doing, but getting the 2-piece is actually pretty cool, and it does set up a really, really cool set, as you can see here. So what are we doing? What's going on here? Well, you can ignore everything at the top. Everything at the top is my armor stuff, or is my weapon stuff, right? Crit boost, dragon attack, razor sharp, that's all coming from decorations. I swapped over to razor sharp handicraft because it made more sense, honestly, than master's touch, and I just tend to get more use out of it. As far as the weapon go, they're still artisan weapons. In case you're curious about artisan weapons, my dragon weapon rolled pretty solid, but it could have definitely been better, I believe, with attack over elemental boost. I don't know if I needed 2 points of the sharpness boost. So realistically, as long as you get 1 point of sharpness boost, you're in the clear. 2 points makes it pretty comfortable. And then of course, you get either attack, elemental boost, or affinity. Whatever you get, it's not the end of the world. I think attack is actually the best there, but I got elemental boost. We can live with that. Attack infusion is what you want to go with when you're building your weapon. So there you go. And like I said, as long as you get 1 point of sharpness boost, you're pretty much in the money. So the setup itself, for decorations, we're decoing in our 1 point of challenger, our 1 point of weakness exploit, and alongside of our exploiter charm, that does put us at our 5 points of Wex and 5 points of agitator. You can then deco in 1 point of burst. If you don't have it, it's not the end of the world, but you can put it in here. 1 point is actually optimal for burst. As much as I would love burst 5 to be optimal, 1 point is actually optimal right now because of the really, really bad elemental weak points, or weak point hit zones. Elemental hit zones is what I'm looking for. Really bad elemental hit zones that a lot of monsters have. So 1 point of burst just ends up being pretty solid. It's good for element. It's good for raw damage as well. but 1 point's kind of like the sweet spot. Outside of that, we're just decoing in our Phoenix decos to go ahead and finish out the rest of our skills. It finishes out our Coalescence, our 2 Sane Jewels finishes out our Antivirus, and then it leaves us with 4 level 1 slots. Now these level 1 slots, up to how you want to use them. I go with 3 Sprinter and 1 Physique, primarily because the skills that, or the items and food items that apply to reducing stamina consumption is separated, right? So there's reducing abilities that consume stamina, and there's reducing stamina consumption, kind of stamina consumption abilities. So the act of running consumes your stamina. The act of rolling is a stamina consuming ability. I know it's kind of weird to kind of describe it that way. That might not be exactly correct on how to describe it, but those two things are separate. They're different, meaning that if one is affected, doesn't necessarily mean the other one's also affected the same way. So what I found is most things that Marathon Runner affects aren't affected like Constitution or Stamina Surge. So getting your stamina back and or acts that use stamina are not affected the same way as acts that continuously use stamina, like you're running and you're rolling and you're using your hammer and you're being in demon mode, or hammer charge and being in demon mode. Those things continuously drain stamina. The other ones, things like, you know, dash dancing on bow, rolling, dashing while your dual blades, just different things like that. They're kind of different for stamina consumption. So Marathon Runner is great because it does help us with stamina consuming, and then I pop items to cover the other side, the things that Constitution usually would cover, items and food buffs, usually those situations themselves. That's kind of how I go about this process. But if you're someone who, like, let's say for example, you don't want to use any items, I probably would drop Marathon Runner down to like 1 and maybe go Constitution 3. You do tend to dodge around quite a bit on dual blades these days, and you want to make sure that you're not using a ton of stamina, because if you start to run out of stamina in a really key position, you'll end up in a lot of trouble. But it's up to you. These 4 slots you could just not use it for stamina at all. Maybe you want to put defensive items in here. That's totally fine. That's up to you at the end of the day, what you end up going with. As long as you have the rest, you're going to be in a very comfortable spot. Outside of just dual blades, if you can make use of these 4 level 1 slots, you can probably use this for other weapons as well. It just works out to being really comfortable on duels, and you end up with a really nice setup. So that's pretty much it. I didn't want to talk too long about this. I do plan on including footage in future videos. However, today's video is basically being rushed out because I didn't realize I was going to make this video today. Had a completely different video scheduled for today, and then I realized that I finished the set and I was like, I want to show this off. This is really cool. So this is going out today, and then I got another video coming out tomorrow for a different game. So either way, future videos will include footage along with this as well. Just assume that my base slide setup is going to be this, and then we'll approach things like the Fulgur Anjanath set and Maximum Might and things of that sort in the mix in future videos. Either way, like if you enjoyed, sub if you keep up with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate every single one of you. Let me know what sets you guys are using in the comments below, how much you've enjoyed fighting Zoshia, whether you have enjoyed or haven't enjoyed fighting it. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Don't worry, we'll get around the Mizutsune sets. They're not as they're interesting. I just don't think they're as good. I'm yapping. Take care. Peace out, guys.